Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matthew back in the game room. I do apologize for the lack of decent scenery and background. Unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, around the 7th or so of January, we did have a flood in our basement. Right in there, that storage room where I used to house a lot of my carded LJNs on the wall there. We had a flood and kind of ruined the storage room, and it ruined a good portion of the carpet when you first exit the storage room there. So I basically had to move a ton of things out of the way. So obviously the entire room is just it's trashy. I hate the way it looks, unfortunately. Luckily, I didn't have to move absolutely everything. They were talking about possibly, tearing up all the carpet and throwing it out. I'm like, no, dude. There's like a very small fraction. Let's remove the padding, get that gone, scrub, clean the carpet, we'll be good. And they came down here with some blow dryers, humidifiers, whatever, and got it clean and, pretty dry. So I'm happy about that, at least. It sucks because with the plumbing that it go in the back. See, right behind these doors is the backyard, and we had this little driveway, cement driveway. They basically had to had to bring in some machinery, had to dig this 7 or 8 foot hole in the background just to change out the plumbing. It sucked. It was just a nightmare. Well, there goes my toy buying money. To be serious though, I was expecting to come back today, remove the dehumidifiers, and lay down all the new padding, all that, so I can get this room set up back to the way it was. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to be back for few weeks. Apparently is what they put out to me. So I haven't really been making any videos. I've been pretty much going off of all the videos I made in one day when I was with the Hasbro tournament. So I need to put some new stuff out. I can't keep going off of strictly Hasbro tournament alone. And I posted the 4th video, or the Series 4 video this morning. Today is... What is today? Monday, January 23rd. So, shoot. Was that Saturday the 7th is when we had the flood? So, the topic at hand... one of the subscribers, just a fan, and I, we were discussing on one of my previous videos some of the different lines, in particular some of the KO knockoff bootleg version of the wrestling figures. And for the longest time, these figures, I always thought they were the Remcos, and that's why I always hated Remco or wasn't a fan, because I thought their figures were absolute crap. And as it turns out, Remco was actually far superior to what we got here. So I don't have the entire line, but I do have enough figures where I think it would make a fun video. So I do have this brand. I have a couple other versions. So I am going to make a few different videos regarding some of these knockoff figures. So who better to start off with than Hulk Hogan? And this is what I'm talking about. You get so many of these figures that look so much like Remco. It was very easy for me as a kid to think that these were the Remco and not enjoy these. I talked about as a child, we used to get our Hasbro figures from Toys R Us. And you wanted the Galoob figures, you wanted these particular figures. You'd go to me, I only saw them in dollar stores I can remember. And maybe you bought them at Kmart, I don't know. And I do have a few of these figures loose, not all of them, of course. So again, just like the Remco figures, they are, pretty... Well, I'm not sure that this figure is supposed to be doing that, but... So the legs are pretty stationary, which, good or bad, I'm okay with. The arms, like the Hasbros, up and down, which is great. Just kind of looking at these figures nowadays, I've got a much greater appreciation for them than I would as a kid. As a kid, I despised it. I just thought they were so ugly looking, and I just didn't feel like they really meshed well with the Hasbro figures that we did have as children. When you look at these cards, obviously they're trying to emulate as much as they can the LJN style. Even when you read off the little beginning part, twist and turn them into all kind of wrestling holds. Just like the LJN's rubber, you're not twisting and giving them holds or anything. You're not doing any of that with these figures either. So, oh, this card's kind of beat up on the back, which sucks. What really irritates me about these card backings, very few of these figures actually match up to what you see on the front of the package. In fact, I think there's maybe one or two that actually might be one of these figures. So you would assume that Champ would probably be Hulk Hogan because, you know, it makes sense. But if you actually look at Champ, the character of Champ actually looks more like Ultimate Warrior or something. But and I actually tried doing some research on these figures and trying to find out who the manufacturer was. Sometimes on eBay I come across the name Sungold. If that's who makes this, I don't know. When you look at the packaging, they don't actually have a manufacturer on here. So who makes these? I have no idea. I've been calling them Sungold because that's really the only name or company name that I could come across. If that's who it is, you know, your guess be as good as mine. The next one, so I actually seen a couple versions of this, and it's an obvious one. You could look at the first one, know you're looking at Hulk Hogan. You can look at this figure and know you're talking about Andre the Giant. And again, sticking with, you know, the whole twist and turn them, you know, that LJN has on their card figures. These bootlegs are trying their hardest to emulate the LJN figures. Card backing is similar. They're using the same, you know, top 5, key 5, major 5, however you want to describe them. You know, they start off with Hulk Hogan, they go into Andre the Giant, and it's just a solid figure. Just like the Remcos, you really don't get any major changes to these figures. All of the bodies are relatively the same. The only thing that really changes overall is the head. But overall design, pretty much 100% identical to one another. So we've got Andre the Giant, and of course this is, you know, the Series 1 LJN style with the long hair. Actually, probably my favorite among this particular line. Okay. And again, there's nothing that really changes on the back. I mean, these are all 100% even with one another. So who else do you get from LJN that you're going to find on these bootleg versions? You're going to get Big John Studd. Now, this character right here, Brute, when I look at that character, I think more Macho Man than, you know, Big John Studd. But, I mean, I guess you could technically, when you look at the back of the package, you're trying to think of, okay, this is the characters that I need to complete this series or this line or what have you. And they're all generic characters who don't really mesh up with any of these in the actual package. So you could call this Macho Man, but again, sticking with red boots and white trunks, you know, what does Big John Studd have? Red boots, white pants. So, and with these particular figures, once again, they do not actually change anything. Bodies are always the same. Heads are different. And, you know, the boots and trunks, that's the color scheme changes, and that's pretty much it. And this is going to be a really quick video, I think. I mean, there's not really too much to say about this particular line. Next one. So I've been calling this one Iron Sheik, and I think that's who this may have been intended to be. So I call Iron Sheik simply for the fact that he has dual colored boots. And one of the things I noticed few days ago was this sticker right here. At first, I just thought it was like a sticker that came on the package or whatnot, until I actually looked closely at it and realized that his belt, yeah, he's got a belt, but here's Hulk Hogan. And that's why I really didn't, think much of it. I just thought, okay, just a plain black belt. But that sticker is actually supposed to be connected to that belt. Yeah, and they're little cheap, flimsy, belts and whatnot. I still think that they're better than any of those laminated, computer printed out belts that you find with the foam and just. I hate that. Those are just so terrible. I mean, I buy a million of them because I want my figures belted, but I mean, even little cheap stuff like this, I think works a whole lot better. So Iron Sheik, and I've got this figure, who is a no doubt Iron Sheik character, but when you look at these two figures, they're obviously completely different. So this is what I get in the package, and this is one I bought loose several months ago. Actually, I'm trying to think if this right here is something I purchased as part of a lot, or because I remember I purchased quite a few items from a seller in the UK, and he threw in like 2 or 3 of these type of figures for me, and this may have been one of those throw-ins. I actually like this one a whole lot more because he actually looks like the Iron Sheik. Nope, no B, just A. He looks more like the Iron Sheik. But the body type, same thing. I'm wondering if. I'm trying to look at the head mold. Because if the stickers are falling off the belt, who's to say that at some point his facial hair didn't, deteriorate or something. And maybe that is the same, but I don't think so. So obviously this loose one is different than that, but as I said, I don't have every single one of these figures, carded figures, but I'm going to show what I have. Now this one, when I bought this from the seller, she was calling this Junkyard Dog. Sticking with the original 5, I would have called this Jimmy Snuka either way. I think he's very more reminiscent of Jimmy Snuka than that of Junkyard Dog. The thing that makes this one, where I feel like she may have been correct in calling it Junkyard Dog, is for the sake of color or darkness. So, as you can see, the carded figure is so much darker than the loose one I have here. So, this is more of a brownish color, of course. So, to me, 100% Jimmy Snuka. And they call this Junkyard Dog, but, if you're a kid, and none of these are actual wrestlers, molded after actual wrestlers. They're just, knocking off whatever, toy company is popular at that time. And when you look at the back of the card, again, these don't match up with anybody. But you do have the Jimmy Snuka figure, which pretty much completes this. Nope, it doesn't. And it doesn't complete it, it just completes the type that I have, or the cards that I have. So I do have one last Wrestling Champs version, and I have no idea who I would classify as this character. Kind of looking at him with the blonde hair, if I was a kid and I was wrestling these guys, I'd probably call him Greg Valentine. Maybe I would use him as like Ric Flair or something. So, looking at the back of the card, Mark best suits up, matches up with Andre the Giant, and I think Mask would be this, I don't know, this Iron Sheik reference character. But I mean, that's weird because that's pretty much it that even comes close. So I got 2 more packages here. They are tag teams. They are not wrestling champs such as these, but the reason I wanted to include them in this particular video is for the fact that their body type does match up beautifully with the figures we just looked at. So again, they're not wrestling champs, they're just simply wrestler, and obviously the carding is far different. new title, but the figures are 100% identical to the figures we just looked at, with the whole knees bent in the beginning. I actually really like these. I think these are super nice, and I am going to make another video right after this one. Obviously, they're not going to be posted together. They're going to be posted on several on different days. So this right here, this wrestler, this is going to be the next video, and we're going to be looking at not necessarily these figures. I will show these two box sets in the next video for reference, but they don't necessarily match up or mesh well with the others. They're completely different poses, different figures. And here's one with Hulk Hogan versus Jimmy Snuka, or Hulk Hogan with Jimmy Snuka. So, and here's what I'm talking about, when the belts are actually complete with the sticker attached to the belt. So they have Andre and Hogan as champions. Here they just simply have Hogan as champion. And pay close attention to the Hogan in each package, because in the next video you're gonna see a lot of that. I'll talk about it when we get to that video, but essentially, if you're a collector or if you're a kid and you want different characters, that's just gonna kill you, or that would have killed you as a kid. Like I said, folks, this was just a very simple video. I didn't really expect it to take too long, and the next video probably gonna hover around 15 minutes as well. Not anything crazy. I would like to get the next video up as quickly as possible once I post this one. So guys, definitely watch and repeat. I want to get the video to 100 views. If I get it to 100 views within a day or two, yes, I'll go ahead and upload the next one, and I'll do my diligence on my end as well. That's it for now, guys. It sucks. This was such a beautiful room. I love the layout of this room, and everything is just all over the place. I was really excited about the guys coming back and taking the machines out and getting everything, getting the stuffing for the carpet and everything, so I could set up my room again, and it's just not going to work. One bonus, able to get that darn Christmas tree out of the corner, so I'm going to have to move that to the garage, or maybe I'll take it back upstairs. I don't know. I just want it out of this room. I don't know if I'm going to keep these shelves up the way that I have them. I just thought they looked absolutely spectacular, and I'm going to need some kind of lighting up there, because you got all of these amazing figures from Mark at the very top shelf, and of course all of Wrestling Writers figures are right here. I got a lot of ideas, a lot of videos I like to make, so I don't want to keep going with this 2 videos a week pace that I've been doing here in the new year. I would like to get more videos out on a more consistent basis. And like I said, I have all these ideas, and they're stockpiling, and it's gonna be really hard to sit on them for weeks at a time, because the more videos I make, obviously the longer I'm gonna have to wait to post that last video or the next to last, and so on. So alright, I am gonna shut up. I'm gonna close the video here, guys. Really excited about making this next video with the wrestlers, this version, and I will talk to you guys in the comments. Goodbye for now.